If there's a primary emotion you have towards Jordan Belfort at the end of the electrifying 3 hours of Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street, it's a feeling of awe. Anybody would love to live the expensive, hedonistic, and consequence-free life we just saw Belfort live. While in other films about the rise and fall of morally corrupt characters we almost wish we could be like, and with them ultimately being resentful for their actions or suffering a worse fate for the crimes that they committed. But nothing like that happens to Belfort. Sure, he gets caught and sent to prison, but as he reminds us in the end,
see, for a brief fleeting moment, I'd forgotten I was rich. And I lived in a place where everything was for sale.
Despite everything immoral that we see Jordan Belfort do throughout the entire movie, why do we still want to be like him? Why do we aspire to live a life like his? And why do we look at him like this? The Wolf of Wall Street is a film about excess. Excess in the forms of money, sex, drugs, and the ability to live a life turned up to 11. It's a lifestyle and dream that is being sold to us by the man himself, Jordan Belfort. Jordan is telling us his story. He's able to change what we're seeing, talk to us directly, and paint the picture that nothing in his life could really put you off to wanting to live a life like his. Jordan is selling his lifestyle and the aspirations of wealth to us, the audience, the same way he does to the mailmen and schmucks he sells penny stocks to. Jordan uses himself as an example to rally up his troops in the office and inspire them to do whatever they can to be rich, to embrace the mantra of another Wall Street villain,
greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
As any good salesman does, Jordan showcases all the positivity about what he's selling, brushing over the fine print of the negative or barely showing it at all. Throughout the film, we never see the lives that Belfort helped put into financial ruin. Only Jordan's first wife he cheats on mentions that the people who are buying these stocks can't afford them and are being screwed over, to which Jordan quickly dismisses and sees the idea for a larger con. In the film, we only see 3 occasions where we physically see the aftermath of Jordan's decisions. The first is Tracy catching Jordan cheating with Naomi outside of his Manhattan apartment, where we see her cry in the middle of the street, to which Jordan says he files divorce from her 3 days later and moves Naomi into his apartment. The second is his employee marrying another promiscuous employee who Donnie and Jordan both sleep with in the office. The husband later goes on to kill himself, sharing a pretty gruesome image of the suicide before Jordan says, "Anyway," and continues the story. The third is the climactic ending of his and Naomi's relationship. He physically assaults his wife and kidnaps his children from the house when Naomi says their marriage is over. Jordan, while coked out, puts his daughter in their car and immediately crashes it, putting her life in danger. It's interesting that we get to see this moment of Jordan's lowest point at the same time when Jordan is also facing jail time, and he feels not as in control of his future, the same way he is not in control of the narrative he's been selling to us the entire film. It's important to note how people around Jordan look at him and how he is able to motivate those around him. When Jordan makes his first sale, the low-performing employees at Investor Center all stop and look at him like he just invented fire.
How'd you fucking do that?
Just like that, I made $2,000. The other guys looked at me like I just discovered fire.
This also applies to the way his followers look at him and embrace him when Jordan's on stage during his talks. They look up at him with such a fierce loyalty that resembles a cult leader or religious figure. Jordan sells them his life as an example, and all their problems can be solved through money and screwing over whoever they need to get to that level. The speech about facing your problems in an expensive suit and gold watch brings out their animalistic nature.
Because at least as a rich man, when I have to face my problems, I show up in the back of a limo wearing a $2,000 suit and a $40,000 gold fucking watch. Fat boys, duke it out! Hit him! Hit the fuck off of me!
Jordan promises them, as long as they are able to follow his lead, he will lead them to be rich and fulfill all their dreams.
I want you to deal with your problems by becoming rich!
But in the end, like all of his clients, he ends up betraying all of them by becoming a rat to the FBI for time off his sentence, selling them all out. even selling out his best friend and closest associates to make sure his own skin is saved. While Jordan ends up making an infomercial near the film's end about the seminars and how to help people get rich quick, I feel as if it's a microcosm of what the film and ultimately Jordan is dishing. He's preaching all the same things: money, women, and an exotic life, but the quality of the video and him getting arrested during it shows off his entire philosophy is a cheap parlor trick for you to buy into and ultimately benefit him despite the personal cost. When at the seminar, the crowd is staring at him with such awe. It's a representation of us. We spent the last 3 hours idolizing Jordan and approving of his life choices, despite the horrible acts we never truly get to see and the outcome of his actions. Jordan is an amazing salesman, and he sold us exactly what he wanted to, and we bought it. Just like the employees, the mailmen, and the schnooks. The Wolf of Wall Street is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's a non-stop energy ride that makes a 3-hour movie feel like it's 20 minutes. Its impact, especially as a senior in high school at the time of its release, was unmatched. Everybody saw it, everyone quoted it, and everybody took away the wrong message. I can't tell you how many people I know went into finance or aimed to become a stockbroker after seeing the film. The film predicts this when Jordan's Forbes magazine article describes his methods and gives him the title The Wolf of Wall Street. And the next day, tons of college kids are at his office trying to get a job. But what does that truly say? Do we want to live a rich life like Jordan does? Or do we not care and ignore the people we screw over to become just like it? Either way, Jordan Belfort continues to sell his message, laughing at us all the way to the bank.